Hey everybody, welcome to Dungeons and Drams. We are going to kind of switch things up tonight and do a little bit of a hangout and chat because technical issues insurmountable in the moment don't make a whole lot of sense to try to play tonight. But we are back live, and I'm joined here, of course, with everybody too. So nobody's out tonight because they were all looking forward to this awesome thing that I've been building for like 3 weeks. so it's cool that this happened. Anyway, so let's I'm gonna switch from beer to something heavier, but while doing so, Ed, I hear that you just made some fun concoction, and I'd love to hear a little bit more about it.
Well, I'm coming off a little bit of a cold. I was over in London for a vacation, or a holiday, as they say. And Erica and I picked up a bunch of whiskey, but I also picked up a really bad cold. So I've got a hot toddy right now, and I just cut it with some Coleman. I think it's Cool Point. Not sure, but this is their little. What is this? This is their travel release, I guess. It's their younger travel release. It's a 4 and 5 year old batching with, I think. It's weird because they did it mostly in bourbon barrels, but then they did only like 4 weeks in Oloroso, like a really, really short finishing period. So
is it giving you like Ugadale vibes, or is it something totally different?
It's hard to tell. My nose is really clogged up.
Oh, that's fair.
So, yeah,
I demand accuracy, Mr. Distiller. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's going to kind of affect your job a bit, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Luckily, I'm mashing this week. We had nothing I have to do with sense of smell or taste, but that's kind of cool because we just got in a bunch of bloody butcher corn that we're going to be making bourbon out of. So yeah,
cool.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be ready in 4 to 5 years. So
yeah, I'm excited for that.
We're excited to be patient.
The longer, the better.
In 4 to 5 years.
So, Jason, the chat just let me know something that I either slipped my mind or didn't know, but happy birthday.
Oh, thanks, man.
Sunday?
Yeah.
It was yesterday, right?
It was yesterday?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Yep.
yeah,
Awesome.
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to
Thanks,
you.
man. My Alessio is 46 years old.
Nice.
The dark side of
Yeah.
46.
Dark side. The
Yes.
dark side of my 40s, 46. Oh my god.
So Martin L is here for his first live stream. Well, I apologize, Martin.
Yeah, he in on the bad one.
Sorry,
Welcome
Martin,
to the show.
don't take this as a representation of how our shows usually go. Unfortunately.
Speaking of which,
Also,
if any...
EJ's
Yep, go ahead.
EJ's birthday is tomorrow, so happy early birthday, EJ.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, nice.
Happy birthday.
Awesome.
All the cool
Thanks,
peeps
Tony
have
Putos.
July birthdays. That is incorrect. But
May is where it's at.
May. That's
Yeah.
right. Yep. Yeah. So what are you drinking tonight, Jason?
So I was just on a stream with the with whiskeychannel.com with David and Kira. We launched a pick that we did months ago to help raise money for some of the organizations that have helped Kira's dad fight cancer. So we have this bottle that we released, the NASA Family Reserve, which is a blend of bourbon, rye, and light whiskey, and it's kind of like a really perfect blend. You could kind of taste each component of it. And these were, and Gene from Cat's Eye, he's a wonderful dude. He basically is only charging people $45 a bottle for this.
Wow.
And, it's there's about 200 something of them. We've sold, a good amount, but every single piece of money that's raised by this is going towards the organizations. And then and a little further down the line, we also picked this Obtainium Canadian whiskey that we picked, which is a wonderful 80.1% ABV. So
Nice. Well,
Jesus. Wait. Whoa.
81%?
yeah,
Wait.
it's so for those of you that don't know what the Obtainium,
162 proof?
yeah, that kind of just went right over my head for a second there.
Okay, AD,
Yeah.
yeah, let me see if I can focus in on this. So first of all, you have the hazmat label on it. You see it?
Yep.
Yeah, there you
And
are.
if you kind of see there, you could see 80.1% ABV.
Huh.
That's insane.
What
That's
is that
cool.
going to the barrel at? I wonder.
I don't know.
million.
It's Canadian whiskey, so God knows what those crazy Canadians did. But
Wild. They're
if you
wild.
look at the text right underneath Canadian whiskey, it says bottled. It says bottled for the fight against cancer, which I thought was a really nice touch.
Nice.
Oh,
That's cool.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I saw your emails come through about the bottle being available, and you know, there's 10 of them a week, so I kind of ignored it. But I think I'm gonna go in and go buy one of those.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can they ship that? Like, are there issues with shipping?
There's all the
Such a
directions.
flammable liquid?
All the directions are all in there. So if you want to,
Okay.
and we're allowing backups too. If you want to buy a couple to help raise some money, I mean, $45, and it's a really good whiskey. I mean, it's all in balance. I'm not just saying that because, you know, we picked it, but it's got like a Burai-esque vibe to it, where it's got a lot of sweet up front from the light whiskey. It's creamy like a bourbon, and then it finishes with a lot of spice like a rye. So it's got a nice balance to it.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
I'm definitely checking it out right now.
I know. I'm in the checkout. I'm in checkout.
Is it in the mash and drum?
Jesus.
Yep.
Or
Oh,
mash
it's
and-
on. It's Bourbon Wrench, Trev, David and Kira, and Mash and Journey and Mash and Drum Patreon as well. So
Okay, nice.
And that's just the Nassif, right? Not the other one.
the Obtainium will be ready in like a couple more weeks. We just wanted to see. And another fun fact about this one is that 5 random 1.75 plastic jugs of this will be sent out. You'd still pay the same price. It doesn't matter, but you can get if you receive the 1.75 liter plastic jug of this, then it's kind of a golden ticket to help us pick the next bottle, the next barrel to
Nice.
help raise cancer as well. So
Oh, that's awesome.
That
So
is
fun.
so
Oh,
cool.
you gotta like, okay,
Yeah.
now I definitely am buying one.
So it's
Yeah,
like
Right?
double it and give it to the next person.
yeah, basically, yeah. So
Well, I just placed my order. So
awesome.
That's genius.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I
I
love
mean,
this whole
David,
Willy
David,
Wonka golden ticket.
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
David and
Mega
Kira
jug.
with their jugs. I don't know.
Jugs in motion. It makes sense.
They always make sense.
Yep.
So-
Yeah.
Hey, Bill,
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it doesn't make sense tonight. I was wondering if you still wanted to do a little bit of a recap, but
I
guess-
absolutely can, just because I can also do it again next week too. Because I did I had the same thought actually, Jason. It'd be cool to kind of talk about this a little bit and, you know, talk about the game a bit.
Yeah.
So let's speed
this
round real
plan.
quick. So actually, Knobolas, I've been hurrying so much. Nice haircut, Clifton.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah.
It's been like, I got like 3 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
like,
Oh, really? Okay. Well, then you must have been really misshapen a while ago, because if it's grown up, yeah, it's misshapen. I
I'm a
chose my word
backhanded
properly. I said what I said.
Damn. What did you do to make him
I mean, I
mad?
was just implying that we haven't streamed in 3 weeks, but go off. Go ahead.
Oh man, it's like 100 degrees down here in my basement for God knows what reason, and I had all that like go. So I'm just dying down. All right. So what are you drinking, Clifton?
I'm drinking Redbreast. I was feeling Irish, so I got
that's
the 15 year to start with. I was going to do a comparison between the cask strength. I have a 2019 batch and a 2020 batch. I know they're not super recent, but I've heard some mixed things about the change from 19 to 20. So I was going to do a side by side. Might save that for next week, just to have more time to dive into it. But yeah.
Which
So I'm
19 do you have? Is it the B2?
B1. Oh, sorry, B219, and
That's
then
the same one I have.
B120.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Nice,
I'm
I'll pour
doing
that then.
I'm doing my I'm saving that one actually just because I'm doing the vertical for Redbreast this week on
cool.
the whiskey dick, and I've got so little of that left. I've shared it way too many times is the problem. So we'll see. Cool. Adriana, what are you drinking?
I'm finishing my first glass, which is not.
Oh, that's right. You said the Knob Creek.
Surprisingly.
That was on the other stream
Yeah,
though.
but
So
I'm
that
gonna.
doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly. So it never happened, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna switch. I'm debating. I might before I switch to ECVP. I might have a pour of this Blue Note that Mash and Journey did the pick.
I haven't had any Blue Note. You know, I've been really curious about their lineup. Is that the only one you've had from them, or?
I had a couple others at a friend's house in Charlotte, and one of them was insanely good. I want to say it was a Crossroads, but I can't remember for sure. Might have been like a weirdly aged one from them.
The Crossroads. The Crossroads is the French oak finish.
Yeah, I think it was that one. It was. I remember really, really liking it. So I got this when y'all did it, and also really, really liked it.
Oh yeah,
no, actually, sorry.
Yeah, that was Erin, and we did that with Erin and Josh from. When I just looked at the back, I'm like, actually, I lied. Stuff and Whiskey is the one who sent me this as a gift, which was super sweet, and it's
nice.
Like me.
Yeah, I'll have to try it sometime. I don't know if they come out here, like I don't know if they distribute out here in Southern California, because I've never seen it, but I've seen it all across Whiskey Tube, so I've been curious to try it.
Yeah, they're not here in Utah either. But I think I might have seen them in Vegas.
Well, if you have, do you have Green River out by you, Clifton? Yeah.
Not out here. No, I can get it when I'm in South Carolina, but not out here.
Yeah, Green River is the same distillate. The only thing with the blue note, it's it's cast strength, those picks, which is kind of nice. So
nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Cool. All right, so let me
Patreon shout out.
Yeah, let's do that. Go for it. We're all over the place tonight. It's all good.
Yeah. I just want to say hello to our very, very special patrons: Mike, David, EJ, Paul, Martin, Steve, Tony Two Toes, and Scott MC. Thank you also for supporting the channel. You guys can join for as little as, I forget how much a month.
I think it's $3.
$3 a month at patreon.com/Dungeons and Drams. Wow, this is this is a struggle. But we'll get access to some exclusive behind-the-scenes content, some maps, some like secret Easter eggs that Bill hasn't told us yet. So if y'all want to get in the know, check that out.
So actually, this week going up on the Patreon is going to be so you know that book that Adriana has been obsessing about that she wanted to steal a couple of times, and well, some of you watching know about that more than some of you playing. So I wrote the book for fun. So it that'll probably go up on Patreon this week. That's the plan. Like I said, I already have it all written. I want to generate some artwork to go off of some of the monsters they're official monsters, but I want to make my own artwork on that. So I'll get to that.
Is it Veiled Underdark?
Yes, that one.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, so
I feel like there's shit going on with this whole Underdark thing, that they had this battle a while back.
So that'll be up on Patreon this week. And if you are just curious to check that out and see kind of what kind of things you would be getting, there's a free trial available too. So you could go check it out and submit. I think it's a 7-day free trial, so you'll be able to get that and see if it's something that you're interested in. But let's give a recap of what happened last week. Or I guess what was it 3 weeks ago? It must have
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
It's a while
back
ago.
When Clifton was looking all misshapen.
Misshapen.
I'll see y'all in 3 weeks from now.
That might have been the worst word I could have. That's top 5 worst words I could have picked.
Protuberances or something like that.
I know, like you look like the Elephant Man or some shit.
A hell of a haircut.
All right, guys. So here we go. I'll read this again next week, so if anybody's kind of just in and out, then not a big deal. All right, so when last we saw Snortimer's soldiers, the group joined... When last we saw Snortimer's soldiers, the group joined the Obsidian Blades in their hideout, where they formulated a plan to steal a bunch of sunstone from the Golden Vault within the Sunstone Cavern. The group split up and went about the town gathering information from trusted sources. Agnomeio went off to the Silverhammer Quarter and visited the Shimmer Anvil Smithy, looking for some gear for the heist. He was redirected back to the Glimmering Gear Works, where he was able to talk Merrick into giving him the Auto Hammer, a portable jackhammer designed to take down walls. Alessio headed to the Silver Spire Inn, where he met a miner named Barnaby Hearthstone. Barnaby has a drinking problem, and Alessio used this to learn that there are typically 2 guards outside of the vault and 2 more in the mines, and they rotate out every 4 hours. Meanwhile, TaLin went over to the Dwarven Archives, where she spoke with Einar Stoneforge and learned about a secret exit from the room housing the Chalice of Kings that leads back to the room filled with darkness. That was this room right here that says darkness.
This is the best map ever.
Darkness here.
Probably fine.
It's like Charlie the Unicorn. It's like, no, the darkness. So, she also picked up a copy of The Veiled Depths, Unraveling the Secrets of the Underdark, which you can find. Oh, yes, which I was going to read to you, that you can now find in your inventory, and patrons will be able to see on the contents of this week. So, oh yeah, there's a book in your inventory with book. So I knew that I was going to lose you at this point, so I kind of discounted you being involved in the next like 10 minutes. So
Yes.
then there's Knobolas.
I'm so excited.
Knobolas went to the Ironhold while disguised as the Goldbeard clan leader Ragnar Goldbeard. His ruse was almost discovered, but he got a good amount of information. You learned that Ragnar was scheduled to be on the same airship that the group is hoping to board tomorrow, and there'll be 6 guards guarding Ragnar. You almost blew your cover when the guards offered to escort you back to your house, but some quick thinking convinced them to bring you over to the Come Right Inn. And you guys regrouped at the Shadow's Den, where you recapped what you learned and made preparations for the night's heist. So, yeah, that was the recap. It was quite a bit.
I'm so ready. I want to play.
I know. It kills me. It's killing me. I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning to work on this too, because, I had 3 weeks, so why wouldn't I work on it till today?
Of course.
So,
Yeah. Of course.
I was busy. So actually, I'd be curious to know, is anybody in the chat? I don't see anybody chatting too much here, but anybody in the chat come here from the AI generated videos that I've been doing? I'm definitely going to be doing some more. My next one that I'm going to be doing, I polled the audience, and they want me to build a pantheon.
That's fun.
So there is a pantheon already in the Lands of Dimidium. You guys know a few of the gods already, but there's probably about 10 of them currently, including major and minor gods. And some, I don't want to use that because believe it or not, I'm trying as hard as I can not to use ChatGPT to help design too much of this world. I'm using it to help generate some of the monster stats to make sure that they're level appropriate. But that's about most of it. There's been a couple of like riddles or whatever, but that's it. Because I like to have this part my brain and the rest of it be the AI stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, that's a clever usage of it, though, making sure, because it knows all the stats. That's what it's perfect for. It knows everything. So
Exactly.
Put it together,
Yeah. It's been pretty cool. Actually, a couple of the things that you may or may not have encountered tonight were leveled appropriately by ChatGPT after I conceptualized the thing. I don't want to tell you too many things, but I kind of totally do.
Don't tell us anything.
I won't tell you anything.
I'm sure we weren't going to run into any monsters. Everything was going to go.
No, there's never any
smoothly.
monsters in this game.
And Alessio was totally going to survive.
Totally.
Debatable. Actually,
I mean, we're
snakes.
in a cavern. I mean, snakes aren't in caves, right?
Mm-mm.
I mean,
No, obviously
No.
not.
yeah.
I
would have been fine. I would have been fine.
You'd be taken down by rats instead this time. Just...
Overgrown, impossible to defeat rats.
I'm just waiting for a ball of
Ridiculously-
snakes riding a lost dog or something like that.
Oh my
A
gosh.
ball of snakes is gonna come back eventually because I know Bill's gonna just put it in somewhere, and you guys will never see Alessio run out of a fight so fast. I'll be like, bye, sorry guys.
Nope.
This
And
is the
Alessio
one.
and Alessio goes up the tree.
So
We
I'm gonna
suggest.
throw something on the stream here for the viewers at home and not for you guys. This little guy right here was gonna show up tonight. He'll show up next time. So
Yeah, I definitely don't have the stream open in another.
Now I'm like, what?
well, I also did that with the
Oh,
intent
yeah.
that you guys might see it, so it's okay.
Okay, good.
Totally
Because I was
opening the
already-
stream right now.
Oh,
my
Marnell.
god. It's okay,
from
sorry,
the
I'll stop.
videos.
I'll stop.
Oh great!
Oh,
so
but can we look at Baby Book? Do you have Baby Book?
I do have baby bookers. Yeah, I'll bring
Show
him
Baby
up.
Booker. That'll make everybody feel better about tonight's stream.
That's
it's-
probably true. Where the hell would I have put him?
Fucking...
The
Oh, it's so cute. It's just not your background.
it's not my
What is it?
background.
Wearing
the-
the top hat? Or...
Well, so
Oh, no,
so the rest
it's
of
him as a
no,
baby.
hold on. The rest of the group don't know about Baby Book, but
They they can see him. Well,
They can
there's a
still
puppy.
see him. Yeah, there we go. There's Baby Booker.
Where is he? Where?
He's on the live stream, so you'll be able to see him if you were
he's
actually.
so rumpled.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, I got it.
Look at him with the wrinkles.
Oh, come on.
Like,
He's like a
Come
little,
on.
Little with his little jowls. I just want to
little baby mastiff. Look at him.
He's great.
Okay. He's so fucking cute. I
Baby
can't
boo.
handle it.
And then, of course, little Grizz.
Oh,
we
yeah,
just-
little Grizz.
That's what you need to do. Like, there needs to be a post on the Instagram of like cutest pictures. Kind of
I've done a few of
You
them
like-
actually. I've thrown a few of them up there, but not
Oh, really?
not nearly as many as I should. I'm so bad. Like
You need to
you
be
guys should just take over the Instagram from me so I can actually you can get some
Good.
traction.
I do always try to share that we're going live.
I appreciate that. I saw that tonight and I was like, yes. So let me ask you guys this. So we've been in Erngor Zuik for a while. What sticks out to you guys as a this is tough because both Knobolas and Adriana, I'm guessing your particular episodes are probably high on your list. Is there any area, let's do this. Is there any area of this city that you guys want to check out that you have not gotten to check out yet?
I would say our circadian rhythms are very fucked up. I just want to.
That's probably true. Yeah. It's probably also been a while since you guys have even looked at the map, so that's.
I was gonna say like, I don't know if this is gonna happen, but it's probably that just wants to like, let's go down to the mines. Let's just charge on down there and just check out all that stuff.
Yeah, wherever
Getting
that
some
sign
trouble.
was that like had about the memorial thing from when the Underdark last came up. Yeah, yeah. Because the
That's-
Ember Forge was really cool. That was probably the thing that stuck out because it had like such a cool sort of story.
Little story, yeah.
Yeah, people. Thing.
Yeah, I wanna know what evil lurks beneath Erngor Zuik.
I
Some.
just love the four different clans that are built into it because I feel like it's four separate adventures into one large mass, which is kind of cool. All different people that do different things. I love that part of it. It definitely felt, I don't know, it took me back to like a throwback role playing game, like playing like Phantasy Star 2 or 3, like back in the
Wow.
day. Yeah.
Phantasy Star, man. Did you guys ever see? So Phantasy Star, I believe that was on GameCube, correct?
No, Phantasy Star started off on Sega Master System.
That's right.
The original Phantasy Star, and I remember.
Why have we never heard of this?
Me and my friends,
that's-
me and my friends struggled. Me and my friends struggled to play that game because it was the first role-playing game like I ever owned.
Okay.
And I mean, I must have been like 12, 13, and I'm like putting it in there, and I'm trying to play, and I'm like, all right, I'm gathering money. What am I supposed to do with it? Until this one time, there's this part in the game where you needed this thing called a Sky Pass to get through to like, there was like a guard there. It's like, you can't pass here unless you have a Sky Pass. I'm like, well, where the F do you get the Sky Pass? I can't go anywhere. So I found this little town and then went to a shop, and the shop had this thing for sale called Secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And then you basically buy the secrets, and then you look in your inventory, and it's a Sky Pass.
There you go.
And then the whole entire game opens up, and I was hooked. I was like, "Oh my god, role playing games are the shit."
They really are. They're like the best type of video game in my mind.
Yeah.
I think
then they evolved into like the open map
world,
type style where
yeah.
you can go
Right.
wherever you want, do whatever you want to do, and
Yeah,
I
open world
didn't
games are
even- I didn't
my.
even realize that there was an original. I know about Phantasy Star Online for the
Right.
Dreamcast.
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I didn't even know that
Fantasy Star 2, I think, could go down as one of the best old school role players of all time. And then they did come out with 3, which was kind of a dud. Then they started evolving a little bit more, but they started being overshadowed by Final Fantasy, which kind of evolved a little bit more than Fantasy Star over time.
So the reason I asked about GameCube, and some people might have just saw a glimpse of it. So there was a controller for the GameCube. I think it was for Phantasy Star Online. That it was a GameCube controller that had a built-in keyboard into it, and I'm showing it on OBS at the moment. and the thing is a monstrosity. It is so weird and gross looking. If you guys can see this now, so it's I don't even know what how you must put it on your lap or something. I don't know. I used to collect video games, and that was one thing that always eluded me because I just never found it for a good price.
I don't remember that thing at all. But
no, I'm sure it wasn't popular. Yeah.
I like that it's the same weird beige that every computer was for a little while there.
Yeah, better than Harvest Gold, which is the color of too much sun on plastic. So I think Chrono Trigger might have been one of my first RPGs.
Oh wow!
Actually, you know what? Breath of Fire I think was my very first, the first Breath of Fire. Or maybe Breath of Fire 2, actually. Sorry. That was my first RPG. And then I did Breath of Fire, and then I did Chrono Trigger. But I remember Breath of Fire 2, I rented it from Major Video. And I remember playing it for a while, and I could never beat it because it's an RPG, so I'd always have to return it. And every week you'd go back and just hope that your save file was still there. And sometimes it wasn't, and it was just, brutal. Yeah. So EJ is saying Wizardry was his first RPG. I don't recall Wizardry, and I know a lot of video games. I'm not sure what that one is. I'm guessing it's PC.
Well, technically, Dungeons and Dragons was supposedly the first long-form role-playing game. I can't remember what system it was on, or if it was just like a PC thing, but that was technically seen as the first role-playing game of all time, which is Dungeons and Dragons.
I think is on computers, yeah.
I think it was on computers, yeah.
Well, because D&D original, the first edition came out in, I think it was 78, 79, somewhere in there, but it was tabletop kind of thing. But I'm wow, there's a lot of wizardries. Apparently, I'm totally awful.
Wow, Wizardry. I don't think I ever played Wizardry.
RPG video game. What was the first RPG video game? Acklebeth World of Doom. Oh yes, the classic Acklebeth World of Doom.
Good old Acklebeth. You don't know
looks
that
like Wizardry came out in 1981. I was like, no wonder I haven't heard of that. I've literally never heard of this.
Wow.
Yeah. This came out in 1980 for the Apple II, which was my first computer. I had the Apple IIc. Yeah.
This is gonna sound so assholey, but they had video games.
Well, I was born in '83, so I was solidly video games evolved as I did.
Sure.
So they were very rudimentary. I feel like I would say they're very they weren't what we think of as
adventure.
Games now. Yeah.
Yeah.
My old man, back in the 70s, they had a Star Trek game where you actually had to print out a sheet every time someone made a move.
Oh God!
And the way you programmed the game was you actually had to do the punch hole cards and punch it in and slot them in, and then it would print out a sheet to show you where everyone's ships were in the game.
You know, I've been a software engineer.
Thing ever.
I've been a software engineer forever. I started programming computers in 5th grade, and I never even held or seen a punch card. Those are so old school.
Yeah. So Dungeons and Dragons was released in 1974 by the company Tactical Studies Rules, and was it had the same things that Dungeons and Dragons have today. It had character classes, races, experiences, abilities, hit points, leveling up. Shortly afterwards, the first RPG video game started appearing, which then included in 1980 the game Rogue was developed by Michael Toy and Glenn Wichman for Unix-based mainframes.
Yeah.
And the first published game was Acklebeth World of Doom in 1980. That's crazy.
Well, so Rogue, for who of you knows what Rogue is?
I've never seen or played
I just think Star Wars.
Rogue was the first. So what's crazy about Rogue is think of like Diablo, where there is a game there, but every time that you play it, it's a little bit different. It's auto-generated worlds and all this stuff. Rogue is that. It was one of the first real video games, but everything about it was auto-generated. So much so that it's a category where games will be classified as roguelike. And so if it auto-generates, like Minecraft technically would be roguelike, because it has an auto-generated world. Although
nice.
you would never really call it that, but just at the root of the concept, that would make sense.
I know roguelikes. I never knew that. I assumed there was a game that it was based on. I didn't know it was that old, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun because the game itself, it was played with all ASCII characters, and I believe that your character was the @ symbol, which, full immersion there. Like it looked kind of like Clifton's hair. It was like the.
Hey guys,
Damn, dude.
I'm doing bottle
Oh
chugs.
boy,
When I get in trouble, I just try to dig deeper because I want to see how deep it goes.
Smite. Yeah.
You never know how deep I go.
So deep. I need more of whiskey. All right. So what we got? So let's see. I played more. So people have been.
Don Ishida said he played.
Yeah,
Rogue.
this is good.
Yeah.
Oh, and EJ says he played the same Star Trek punch card game.
Really?
Ah,
Wow,
nice.
that's crazy.
That's cool.
I remember like I had Super Mario
God.
Brothers or Super Mario Bros for my Apple IIc, where it was like you had to. I remember you had to type like run mbro in order to make it run. Like you had the 5.5 floppies and all this stuff. It was a lot. Yeah.
I had no idea that there were versions of that because I forget which. I'm trying to look up all these Macs that y'all are mentioning. The one that looks the closest to what I had because I inherited it from my sister was the one that Nick was talking about, the 2E.
Yes.
That looks similar to what my first one was.
That's what most people had. I had the 2C, which was technically before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had like Oregon Trail, like the games were like super like simple. Like I never had Mario. What the hell? I was missing out.
So this was the Mario that has like it has Mario and Luigi. It's not like Mario Brothers. It's Mario and Luigi where you have like the POW in the middle and you have the couple pipes.
Right, the original Mario.
The original,
Not
yeah.
Super Mario.
Correct. Yes.
Just Mario.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm so lost.
So starting on PC Junior, then LLC. All right. Yeah, Intellivision. Geez. Wait, you had Intellivision, Jason?
I did not, but
okay.
My neighbor had it, and whenever I would go across the street and play theirs.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
What's bad is the one talking about like these older systems and television and stuff is my husband. He's a decent amount older than me, and
is it? Okay.
He's just proving it in chat. Nick Croman.
There we go.
Proving the age gap.
I like it. That's okay.
What?
Well,
yeah.
He's
Cool to me. I think the first system I ever had was an Atari. I think it was an Atari 7800. I think it was like the first like video game system I had. Playing like like the tank game and Pac-Man and some of those basic games.
Yeah. Super Nintendo was my first.
Yeah.
One of my favorite
3DO.
I did not have a 3DO, but I'm surprised you did.
I had a 3DO.
There's so many.
3DO. Why have I not heard of this either?
So it's a Sega 3DO,
heard
right?
of 3DO.
Yeah, it was like
I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
I never had any of the Sega consoles. Like I never even like knew them. Like none of my friends had them either.
Yeah, I was the only like kid in my group that had the Sega Master System.
Oh, that's right.
Everybody else had Nintendo Master System.
So have those original console wars. Like you were locked in. If you had one, it was like that's all you.
Well, no,
had.
I mean Nintendo ruled until the Sega Genesis came out, and then their like way of marketing was completely different. And Sega Genesis just owned Nintendo for a good bit until like Super Nintendo came out and some of the other consoles. But then it was like,
anybody in the chat, if you can name what this thing that I put up there is, like what the actual name is, I'll be impressed. There's a moniker for this particular setup.
Tower of Power?
Oh, you're not in the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
That's all right. This is the Tower of Power. It's Sega CD with a Sega Genesis with a 32X, which is what I was thinking when you said 3DO. And then you have the Sonic and Knuckles with the Sonic in the top.
Did anyone have the Neo?
Yeah, because the 3DO had a DVD or CD.
Did anyone have Neo Geo?
No.
Oh my God, the Neo Geo.
Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Oh my God, yeah, I didn't have one, but I remember thinking those were the coolest.
Or
thing.
even more rare. Anyone have a TurboGrafx 16?
Oh, no way. Or the Jaguar. The Jaguar.
Yeah.
either one.
Come on, Cliff, you got to remember the game.
All before my
No,
time.
if your bourbon bites, you got to know this old shit.
Yeah, you got to know the game Bonk's Adventure.
Study
I know
Bonk's
Bonk's Adventure. Actually,
should I Twitch stream this? Should this be my next Twitch stream?
you
Yes.
should. Yeah, Bonk's
Quick
Adventure.
stream.
That
It's
was
basically
legit.
a little cave dude with a giant head that
Yeah.
would bash everyone with his giant head. That was Bonk's Adventure.
It was like the first game that you saw on TV that had 16-bit, and it was like looking at the future. You're like, that is so defined.
is it real
Oh my
life?
god. Yeah, right. It was like that.
They actually had the best like handheld
Controller?
thing in it. I
Yeah.
forgot what it's called, but TurboGrafx 16 had its own
Oh,
handheld
Yes, it did.
device, and the
was-
screen was you had like Game Gear and you
Yeah.
had
I don't want to look
you
it up.
had-
I want to see if I can
They
remember.
had the
it.
Game Boy and all that stuff, but
Hmm.
and they had their certain the way
Hmm.
those looked for a specific reason. The TurboGrafx 16 handheld looked
Yeah.
like like the screen was kind of small, but it looked like an actual TV set. It was so
Oh, wow.
crystal clear and high def for the time. It was insane, but
Hmm.
it was like $500. No kid could afford it.
Pretty much everything with them. So it was called the Turbo Express, which I would not have remembered. Yeah. So I just threw
That's
that.
it.
Yeah. So anybody paying attention, like I'm throwing all this stuff on screen as we're talking about it because it's fun.
Did you find a picture of it?
Of course I
is it
did.
in-
I was
is it in
like,
the chat? I gotta look. I gotta find it.
So I just
Oh
threw
my
it up.
god, there it is.
Yeah.
Cell phone from like my mom
It
had when I was a
does.
kid.
Yeah.
a little
It's like
bit.
it looks like
Like
a
that,
Game
that
Boy.
that little screen looked like a full on like actual TV set. It was that
Yeah.
good of quality. So the battery lasted about 5 minutes.
ColecoVision. Oh man. Nick was definitely in it. I could tell. If you're throwing out ColecoVision,
Dude.
you're
Adriana, grab him, bring him on stream.
I know. I know.
Right?
Nick. I know.
I could
Nick
throw
was
him on here.
playing. I know Nick was playing Gargamel's Revenge, the Smurfs game on ColecoVision.
One of my favorite parts about all these old games is that, one of you guys, I think it was Jason, you were saying like, oh, I was playing like the tank game. It was called Tank. It's like none of the names were taken yet. It's like, oh, what do we want to call our video game about tanks? Tank.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
What's the
okay.
sequel gonna be? Super Tank.
Yeah. Ice hockey.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Not
simpler time.
like all
I know,
Madden Super All-Star Baseball, but baseball,
Limited edition.
football.
It's a lot easier to remember though. Like,
I mean, to
in
be fair,
fairness.
like we're still like Wii Sports. Like I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Like
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Wii tennis.
Wii
golf.
Sports. That's one of the Wii Sports is one of the most popular games of all time because it came with the most popular console of all time. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
if you go to like a used game store, that's just like all lining the shelves, like all the Wii Sports games.
That was
Yeah.
that was my favorite episodes, my favorite parts in Big Bang Theory when Sheldon he just cannot decide between getting the new PlayStation or the new
Xbox.
or the new Xbox, and he goes and he's like going around the room. Which one should I get? Xbox, PlayStation. He goes Xbox, PlayStation. He goes they're both good. And then he gets to Bernadette, who's Wild with his wife, and she goes, I like the Wii.
Of course.
Oh my god, that's pretty spot on.
It's funny. I referenced the Big Bang Theory in my most recent video that absolutely nobody watched. I think it did like 300 views in the first 24 hours. Nobody, whatever. It was on Old Line, which is like a great whiskey, but nobody knows it. But anyway, I was just like, I found myself drinking this over and over and again, and eventually I found the Big Bang Theory to be funny. So, which
So we talk old school role playing games. If you
Yeah.
had to pick a semi-modern to modern role playing either series or game in particular, what would be your choices?
I know my answer, but I'm gonna let somebody else talk for a minute.
Finally, I can participate.
Yes.
Finally, games I've played.
Yes.
For me, it's Mass Effect. I love the whole. Mass
Ooh,
Effect.
that's a great one.
Oh,
1,
that's a
2,
good
3,
one.
or Andromeda.
Andromeda, yeah, right. For me, I think Mass Effect 2 was probably
Yes. Good
like,
answer.
my favorite. Yeah,
I approve.
yeah, I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, Mass Effect 2. That was a fun game to play for sure.
Shepard.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to decide.
I'm Commander Shepard.
Yes. Did you play as male Commander Shepard or female Commander Shepard?
Hell no, I played female Commander Shepard.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. That was the most important part.
I remember Mass Effect 1, I totally like hooked up with the blue chick. I forget her name. Because I like Captain Kirk's a personal hero of mine, and you got to hook up with the aliens.
Oh, right.
So.
Obviously,
It's-
I had
it's
a big
tough-
crush
it's-
on Garrus, the blue
It's,
guy.
it's
Yeah.
tough too because there's certain games that kind of border between like RPG and I don't know.
Action.
Yeah, like an action
That's
game.
what I was gonna say. Like, I honestly cannot think of like RPGs aren't typically my style. But then if you think about things like farming sims, like Stardew Valley, and like these other, they have RPG elements to them,
Oh.
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
Harvest Moon and things like that. So I think those were my genre growing up versus like the full on like RPGs. I mean, I played RuneScape as a kid, but like nowadays, like I can't dedicate that much time to it. So it's always like the farming sims, like Stardew Valley and things like that.
I feel like even Call of Duty, like that even has RPG elements.
Some elements,
now.
yeah.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
want your game to have
Yeah.
lasting effect, you
Yeah.
need to have some sort of like even Tony Hawk Pro
Story.
Skater technically had RPG elements, right? Like you
Yeah.
level up and you get more points and you can skate better. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
I
I
would
was
pro-
gonna say.
I like
Go
a
ahead.
game to have story. Other people
Yes.
get bored by that, I think, but like I really enjoy when they have story.
What a crazy concept. The five of
Yeah,
us
who
enjoy a
would've
story
thought?
in a game.
It's so nuts.
But also I love casual games
As
that don't have
D&D
stories.
players, what?
Yeah,
One
right.
thing is, I also enjoy the ones without stories, like Fall Guy, like the random like casual games. Like I enjoy those too.
That game was so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love streaming. I love like having like sometimes I would do things where I would get my Discord members and we'll all join Fall Guys and we like get drunk and like play
Yeah.
awfully. It's so much fun.
Nice. So what were you gonna say, Ed? What was your
Oh
game?
no, I was gonna say probably as a kid it would probably be Final Fantasy.
Mm.
Was because
Yeah.
weirdly enough I started with 10-2. If you remember
Really?
that. 10
Yeah.
had its own sequel, which is 10-2. Yeah. And then I went back and played like the classic original. I got it on like the Wii. But I was gonna say Elder Scrolls for just as an adult.
That is a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
sure.
I was kind of leaning that
Except-
way.
The last time I played Elder Scrolls was years ago with my roommate was really into it, and I got drunk and was playing, and the next day I woke up and my character was like way out there in the middle of nowhere in a cave, and I lost all my clothes and all my inventory, and I was just like naked in a cave somewhere. I was like, no.
Dungeons and Dragons would be nice.
I was like, I'm not going to recover from this, so X now on this campaign.
Yeah, I was gonna say Elder Scrolls, but then kind of thinking about, I mean, I know I play Alessio, but even some of the newer Assassin's Creeds, which got more story based and more, open world. I think one of my favorite ones was.
Yay.
Oh my god, there it is.
Oh,
Sorry.
there it is. Yeah.
That's what.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so sorry to interrupt you, Jason. So I ran to go get this, and then the dog heard me running, which meant that our whole house is on fire and he needs to bark.
Yeah.
And the whole house is asleep except for me, so I had to go get him. Yeah, anyway. All right, so Elder Scrolls, which was also going to be my answer. So I'm curious, Jason, which one?
Well, the one that hooked me was the Skyrim.
Same.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Such a
but like
great
kind
game.
of kind of interspersed with that, I was saying obviously the Assassin's Creeds, which got a little bit more open world and more role playing y as they evolved over time. I think one of my favorite ones to play recently was the Odyssey, which was set in Greece.
Yep.
Which was just not only a fun game to play, but just like visually, it was like stunning.
But
Yeah.
they've always nailed like the world building. Like those games are just some of the most beautiful ones to look at.
Yeah.
So
you could just,
so
yeah.
so Don Nishita is talking about Ultima, which was also that was one of my first real online role-playing games I got into. I used to play on so there was Ultima Online, which was like a massive game, but then what they did is they allowed developers or people that were interested to take the source code of the main game and go make their own world, which they could code and make whatever they wanted, and they were called shards. There was a whole reason for that I won't get into. So I played on a shard like through most of college, and I remember like me and a few guys. Actually, there was a guy that I was friends with named Matt freshman year, and he just straight up played the game so much that he had to drop out of school. And I just remember being like, "Well, there's a life lesson that I need to learn immediately." So, but
Wow.
we would go to class, come back from class, and what was weird, like he didn't look like the typical guy that you would imagine when I give you that scenario. Like he looked like not me.
I immediately had a picture in my head.
Yeah,
You
no,
said it, like-
he wasn't overweight at all. If anything, he was pretty athletic. He was like just, I don't know, something about it just hooked him way too much. And we were like, dude, stop, go to class. He's like, no, I gotta like do a thing. And it's like, oh my god.
See, that's the type of person that like makes all those like news like outrage stories. Like kids are dropping out of school to play video games just because like one person. Like
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you
I
can
think
get
that's
addicted to anything.
yeah.
very true.
But
All right, guys, I'm gonna jump off since we're not
Sure.
playing. I'm gonna go make some content. So
yeah, no problem.
Damn, Jason's coming back with the burns now. I thought it was Bill.
That's right.
I mean, I like, honestly, Bill, like I was really pretty psyched to play tonight. So
Me too.
I mean, look, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Hopefully, we can get it, shored up. I'm actually away next week. I'm in Boston for a conference, but
Okay.
by Monday night, 9:30, I should just be back in my room hanging out. So I should be
Okay.
able to join. So it should be okay. If it was like later in the week, I'd say, yeah, it ain't gonna happen. But I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Either way, we will be playing next week. Hopefully, if you can make it, even if it's like a stuttery thing, like you'll still be involved and it'll be great.
Yeah, I will.
And
I will do my best to get there. I have a pretty open schedule on Monday when we first get there for the conference. So
Cool.
This is like my big, middle of the year thing. Once I get through this, I can get back to living a little bit more, get back to a normal schedule. Right now, just things are crazy. So even making content right now is a challenge. So I'm just trying to squeeze in what I can. So
I hear you. Actually, having the last couple of weeks off, I've been able to crank out a ton of content for both channels, which has been nice. But
that's what I need. So
yeah.
hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll be able to start churning out a lot more stuff. Right now, it's just a struggle. So
Sure. Well, I did promise all of these guys that we would have an early night, so I think we'll just use this as a catalyst. I know, Ed, you're suffering anyway, so although you held it together very well.
NyQuil, you go to sleep.
There you go.
NyQuil shot.
Yeah.
Risky NyQuil.
Chug.
With NyQuil. I'm just kidding.
There you go.
We're
gonna get canceled.
Oh,
The wasn't too bad. The NyQuil might not be bad either. Who knows?
No, that would be awful.
Yeah.
Green
We do not
NyQuil
condone
is the worst.
this.
Well, we appreciate all of you guys that hung around in the chat for tonight. I apologize that the game didn't happen. What I'm gonna do is I'll probably spend the next day or so figuring this out, and then I'll grab one of you guys to help me test it. So,
Sure.
of course, the things that I depended on to be the same were the things that finally weren't. So, oh well. All right, guys. Well, we'll talk to you soon, and thank you for joining us here on Dungeons and Drams. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, all.
Cheers.